Hello, I'm Willie from the Ozarks, and we're ready for our April the 27th lesson in A Course in Miracles workbook for students from the original edition, Lesson 117. God being love is also happiness, and I seek but what belongs to me in truth. So Lesson 117 are those two reviews, 103 and 104. God being love is also happiness. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. For morning and evening review, God being love is also happiness. Remember, love is happiness, and nothing else brings joy. Let me remember, love is happiness, and nothing else brings joy. So there he uses happiness and joy as replace. They both mean the same thing there. And so I choose to entertain no substitute for love. So love, joy, happiness, all the same thing. He says, let me remember, love is happiness, and nothing else brings joy. And so I choose to entertain no substitute to love. Love everybody. Reminds me of what Neem Karola Baba used to say. He told Ram Dass, Richard Alberts, who he renamed Ram Dass, probably after the 13th century Kundalini Yoga teacher, Ram Dass. But anyway, Ram Dass in the 60s wrote the book Be Here Now. Neem Karola Baba told Ram Dass, he said, love is the best medicine and food is the best narcotic. He said, so love everybody and feed everybody. So love everybody and feed everybody. God being love is also happiness. That's lesson 103. Let me remember, love is happiness and nothing else brings joy. And so I choose to entertain no substitutes for love. And lesson 104, I seek but what belongs to me in truth. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Love is my heritage, and with it joy. These are the gifts my Father gave to me. I would accept all that is mine in truth. Love is my heritage, and with it joy. These are the gifts my Father gave to me. I would accept all that is mine in truth. On the hour, say God, being love, is also happiness. And on the half hour, say, I seek but what belongs to me in truth. And be sure to do your 5-minute meditation or more in the morning and in the evening. Last 5 minutes of the day and the first 5 minutes of the day if possible. All right, let's go look in our text reading. And we're ready for, in chapter 17, the healed relationship. Chapter 17, forgiveness and healing. Section 6, the healed relationship. And we're ready for paragraph 53. Let's start with 52. So while you're turning there, let me tell you, I'm sitting here on a little creek that runs a little stronger than it usually does after these rains, but it generally runs all the time anyway. Pretty little waterfall behind me. Let me tell you about parsley. Petroselinum crispum, a Mediterranean native, and I'm reading to you out of the Baker Creek catalog. Parsley sports bright green leaves and lends its delightfully fresh flavor to cuisine from around the world. Typically grown as a biennial, it takes 2 years to mature. This luscious herb prefers full sun and well-drained soil. Seeds may be slow to get started and germination can be uneven. But an overnight soak in lukewarm water will certainly speed things up. Be sure it's lukewarm. Don't have it hot. You might kill them. If plants are allowed to bolt and set seed, the winter birds will enjoy the treat, and you will be rewarded with a fine crop of reseeded parsley to enjoy the following year. Well, that sounds pretty neat. Moss Curled Parsley is this variety that I want to tell you about. This is the fancy, extra ruffled version of the famous herb native to the Mediterranean. Parsley has been grown and used for spicing dishes in its native range for over 2,000 years. Curled parsley has been grown for hundreds of years and was mentioned in the Otto Schwill and Company seed catalog in 1896. So, Moss Curled Parsley. And there goes my dog running through, chasing a squirrel or something probably. Okay, so there we go. Let's pick up our reading in paragraph 52. Might just take a minute and listen as we say our lesson again. God being love is also happiness. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Throughout the sonship is the song of freedom heard in joyous echo of your choice. Remember, we're talking about how to convert the special relationship into a holy relationship. Throughout the sonship is the song of freedom heard in joyous echo of your choice. You have joined with many in the holy instant, and they have joined with you. Think not your choice will leave you comfortless, for God Himself has blessed your holy relationship. Join in His blessing, and withhold not yours upon it. For all it needs now is your blessing, that you may see that in it rests salvation. Condemn salvation not, for it has come to you, and welcome it together, for it has come to join you together in a relationship in which all the sonship is together blessed. 53. You undertook together to invite the Holy Spirit into your relationship. He could not have entered otherwise. Although you may have made many mistakes since then, you have also made enormous efforts to help Him do His work. And He has not been lacking in appreciation for all you have done for Him. Nor does He see the mistakes at all. Have you been similarly grateful to each other? Have you been as grateful to your partners have you been as grateful to your partner as the Holy Spirit is grateful to you, is what he's asking. Have you consistently appreciated the good efforts and overlooked the mistakes? Or has your appreciation flickered and grown dim in what seemed to be the light of the mistakes? You are now entering upon a campaign to blame each other for the discomfort of the situation in which you find yourselves. And by this lack of thanks and gratitude, you make yourselves unable to express the holy instant, and thus you lose sight of it. And we don't want to lose sight of that holy instant. And he's going to give us some ways to how we can take that holy instant and allow it to remain. The experience of an instant, however compelling it may be, is easily forgotten if you allow time to close over it. It must be kept shining and gracious in your awareness of time, but not concealed within it. The instant remains. But where are you? To give thanks to each other is to appreciate the holy instant and thus enable its results to be accepted and shared. To attack each other is not to lose the instant, but to make it powerless in its effects. To attack each other is not to lose the instant, but to make it powerless in its effects. You'll forget that holy instant. You won't be able to be abiding in it with your awareness if you feel like you need to attack and, become angry. You have received the holy instant, but you have established a condition in which you cannot use it. As a result, you do not realize that it is with you still. And by cutting yourself off from its expression, you have denied yourself its benefit. You reinforce this every time you attack each other, for the attack must blind you to yourself. And it is impossible to deny yourself and recognize what has been given and received by you. Paragraph 55. You stand together in the holy presence of truth itself. You stand together, you and your partner, stand together in the holy presence of truth itself. Here is the goal, together with you. Think you not the goal itself will gladly arrange the means for its accomplishment? It is just this same discrepancy between the purpose that has been accepted and the means as they stand now, which seems to make you suffer, but which makes heaven glad. If heaven were outside you, you could not share in its gladness. Yet because it is within, the gladness too is yours. You are joined in purpose, but remain still separate and divided on the means. In the last paragraph, 56, yet the goal is fixed, firm, and unalterable, and the means will surely fall in place because the goal is sure. And you, in other words, you just side with truth. Side with the goal of that you're going to see love everywhere. You're going to see holiness everywhere. And things will line up in that reality because you're siding with what's true. And you will share the gladness of the sonship that it is so. Let's read that again. The goal is fixed, firm, and unalterable, and the means will surely fall into place because the goal is sure. And you will share the gladness of the sonship that it is so. As you begin to recognize and accept the gifts you have so freely given to each other, you will also accept the effects of the holy instant and use them to correct all your mistakes and free you from their results. And learning this, you will have also learned how to release all the sonship and offer it in gladness and thanksgiving to Him who gave you your release and who would extend it through you. So get it right with one and you get it right with all. That's how I'm understanding that. All right, I think we'll stop there, and with the encouragement that we want to have all our relationships become holy relationships. All right, and tomorrow we'll start with the practical forgiveness. Practical forgiveness. That's what we need, isn't it? Practical forgiveness. And today, God being love is also happiness. God being love is also happiness. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. So hang out onto that idea that you want to be loving because you want to be happy. You want to see love or an appeal for love. If you can't see love, at least see the appeal for love, because that still keeps you free. God being love is also happiness. Let me remember love is happiness and nothing else brings joy, and so I choose to entertain no substitute for love. I seek but what belongs to me in truth. Love is my heritage and with it joy. These are the gifts my Father gave to me. I would accept all that is mine in truth. So accept your heritage, which is love and joy. I know I read that, 3-4 times today, the lesson, but I really wanted to kind of settle in on this, and we want to take it with us and not lose sight of it. Thank you all so much for joining me here in this little quiet place. How about we be real quiet just for a minute and you can kind of listen. God being love is also happiness. And I seek but what belongs to me in truth. And that's my dog walking around in the leaves. Sorry about that. Anyway, thank you all so much for joining me. God being love is also happiness. I seek what belongs to me in truth.